What is up? Welcome back to Lit News. It's the latest in tech news, served hot just for you. Topic 1. Wow, well, I guess we have to talk about Facebook. Q2 earnings came out yesterday after the bell. As the bell rang, Facebook was at its all-time high, $217.50. After the earnings report, Facebook tumbled about 20% on the news. They ended up losing about $123 billion in market cap. There's a lot of analysts saying maybe it's a good time to buy now, because it basically just erased the recent run-up that they had. What's crazy about the size of that drop is that Zuck's personal fortune dropped about $17 billion. So he's now just a little under 70 billion. I think he's doing okay though. The thing that cracks me up about all this is that all the news articles are hammering Facebook for their poor engagement numbers, or that growth has hit a wall, or that we're seeing the slowest growth ever. Do you realize what Facebook's monthly active user count is? 2.23 billion people. 2.23 billion people. Let's put this in perspective for just a second, and I'm gonna round these numbers off just for some easier math. 2.5 billion people use Facebook every single month. Now there's only 7.5 billion people on the entire planet. Oh, sorry, had to change locations. Okay, so there's literally only 7.5 billion people on the entire planet. That is 1 out of every 3 people on the planet, including babies. That's literally 1 out of every 3 people on the entire planet liking to their heart's content. That's insane. But hold up, not everyone even has internet connection. It's estimated that roughly 50% of the world's population is online. That would equate to 2 out of every 3 online person is liking Facebook every single month. I'd say they're doing okay. If I'm Zuck, I'm like, what more do you want from me? I'm 34, I've achieved global domination.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Sure, they're hitting some saturation points and probably a few bumps in the road given the recent negative press. I'm curious what y'all think. In other Facebook news, they're making a big move towards video to compete with the likes of Twitch and YouTube and Netflix, etc. They've now released something called Watch Party, which you'll find inside Facebook groups for now, soon to come to pages and individual accounts. If you're familiar with Twitch or YouTube Live, it's a very similar feel, right? Where you're watching a video either pre-recorded or live from the creator, and the group of people that's watching with you can chat along the side and interact with the person that's recording or presenting the video. All right, that's enough of Facebook. Topic 2, Google. Let's talk about Google for a second. Google recently announced that their 85,000 employees have successfully avoided phishing scams for the past year based on a new physical security key that they've implemented. They're taking that technology that they co-developed with Yubico and releasing it to the public, calling it the Google Titan Security Key. You can choose between a Bluetooth version or a USB version, and it works as your two-factor authentication token. For those of y'all that have used an RSA token for work, it's very similar to that, but for your personal accounts. The idea is that someone may be able to steal your password or guess your password or brute force your password, but it's much harder for them to do that and steal a physical device that's in your pocket. A common two-factor authentication method that exists today is for you to receive a text message to your phone, but they've proved that even sophisticated scams can get people to give up that PIN code that was texted directly to their phone as well. The Google Titan Security Key recently came under fire by Yubico, a Titan competitor, because it does use Bluetooth. Yubico says a better option is using near-field communication, NFC, because you don't have to worry about pairing the Bluetooth. You don't have to worry about batteries, et cetera, et cetera. So it seems that having a physical connection, either USB or maybe NFC, are going to be options that tend to win out, but there might be some people that prefer Bluetooth and leverage that with Titan. Google said these will be for sale to the general public soon for around 20 to 25 bucks. Okay, topic 3. GKE On-Prem recently announced at the Google Cloud Next conference that's happening this week in San Francisco. They want to offer an on-premises or on-prem, but not an on-premise version of GKE. See what I did there? It'll be called GKE On-Prem, and the alpha will be released later this fall for testing. Now, what does it run on in your data center? So it's Google Cloud On-Prem. It needs something to run on. So what it has been certified, the only thing that it does run on is VMware vSphere 6.5. They may add things in the future, but this is the go-to. There's a couple cool things wrapped up in this, right? It's neat to see Google make that move and then make several statements about it as well. It's a very clear nod to the hybrid operating model that many of the on-premises solution providers are talking about. The vast majority of customers that have workloads are going to have an on-prem and an off-prem in a hybrid scenario. Google's top infrastructure engineer, Google employee number 8, was even on stage and said, I quote, "We're ending the false dichotomy between on-premises and cloud." I think one of the other big things that will help people understand is that cloud is really an operating model. It's how to do things. It's not a location, right? So you can have cloud in the public realm, you can have cloud in the private realm, right? On-premises, on-prem, I almost did it myself, or off-prem, right? So very cool. It'll be neat to see how this happens. Another big thing about this is that it's a significant nod as well to the success that Kubernetes is having. Customers may not want to move these workloads outside of their locations, outside of their four walls, but they want to leverage that engine on site. And also, it's just a clear acknowledgement to the overwhelmingly dominant force that is VMware vSphere when it comes to running production on-prem workloads. Okay, that wraps it up for today. I'm gonna quit yakking at you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you've got an update that's on fire, ping me at Aaron Bewley on Twitter so that way I can fold it into the next episode. Either feed me the information or the topic, or better yet, you create a video and I can fold it in. All right, stay lit, fam. See ya.